COHOUSING. We're here because we all want more community in our lives. Hi, I'm Ken. This is Cascadia Commons. I've been here 25 years.
Hi, I'm Nashira. Our family's been here since July, and we love it here.
We've been here 25 years. We're kind of split up into two sides. There's a north side here, which was opened in 2000, which was mostly renovated duplexes. The other side of the community, the south side, was new construction that opened the next year in 2001. There's a total of 26 houses. We've got about 40 members, 45, we got a lot more kids now moving in. We've got a good range from 5 to 85. COHOUSING, we're here because we all want more community in our lives. There's a lot of things that come out about it. We got different things we can share. A lot of the tools we have, we got enough for 3 or 4 families because that's all we need. And doing things together. Babysitters, cat sitters, everything. We're here because of community. It means different things to a lot of us. So this is one of our 2 parking lots. We have 2. One thing you'll see on the other side, there's no EV charging stations here. We have EV charging stations on the other side. As a community, we're talking about the need for having some here, but we haven't decided on that yet. Painting the houses, it's 25 years. We've done it twice. It's probably been the most difficult decision that we've come upon in 25 years is, what colors do we want our houses? But, it's one thing, again, that was done as a community decision. We fall back on committees. We have, 6 or 7 committees that do the work around here. We like everybody to be on a committee. I like committees. I'm on 3 or 4. But for me, it's a way to hang out with my friends. Committee meetings, that's where my friends are. So I enjoy doing that.
How long does it usually take to pass a new rule or whatnot?
No such thing. There's no such thing as how long it usually takes. It could take anywhere from a meeting to 2 years, depending on the proposal, how well it's brought to the community. Everybody here didn't grow up writing proposals and dealing with administration. So it's something that, as new members come in, they have to learn. Okay, when you want to get a proposal done, here's how you take it to the community to get the best reception. So it could take a long time depending on how important it is and how small it is. We have a project that Nashira and her husband Jim are working on.
We're gonna string some wire and put in more berries because we never seem to have enough berries, whether it's blueberries, raspberries, thornless blackberries, and we have some special black raspberry too.
Full community beds, which are our shared community. A espaliered pear tree up against the house over there. One of our members, Rufus, is a master gardener, and we've got fruit trees all over the place, courtesy of him. We've got pears, cherries, plums, figs, persimmons, apples. Once the harvest season comes around, after the people who work the gardens have taken what they want, she'll usually post a photo on our email group saying, this is what's left, anybody come and help yourself.
Now, do you do composting?
Yes, there's at least 4 different compost stations around the community. We got one of them here, one on between Marty and Emily's, one behind the common house, one over on the south side. So yeah, we do a lot of composting. We do a lot of recycling. We recycle just about everything. One of the women here, Judith, is a master recycler. We've got a recycling station over on the south side that I'll show you when we get over there. We've got, I think there's still about 5 rain barrels around the community. Marcia is working on an idea for collecting water in underwater, in tanks, which, from Green Grove, was that the?
Yeah, Green Grove, yeah.
They were talking about having 3 different water tanks.
Yeah,
so
they have about 30,000 gallons that they collect.
We're going to contact them and see how they did it. Yeah, that was something I learned from that video. Again, these were duplex apartments previously. They were all totally refurbished. So it's new. They were built in the late 70s, refurbished in 1999 and 2000. This one behind us here is a 1-bedroom. When they were getting financing before it was built, reached a point with the bank where the bank said, you're close. And it was like, this building wasn't in the plans, but with some thinking around, they said, well, what if we build another building right here? And the bank said, yeah, that works. So they built a standalone 3-story, 1-bedroom, or 3-bedroom. Through here, we back up against neighbors on 96th. The neighbors back here bought a plot just as an easement. So it's most of these trees are now protected by the neighbors having bought it. So it was something that we were dealing with the owners at the time, but he came up with a better offer, and it was great. It was exactly what we were trying to do. And so just briefly here, this is Trex that is folded. You don't get to see that too often. It lasts so long because this goes back 23 years. This was done the second year we were here. Most of the others, they've converted to cinder block, but our one little Trex still stays.
Probably next growing season we'll replace it. We have some extra bricks left over from our project here.
Kids' play structure. We didn't originally have a play structure when we moved in, but one of the women with a daughter said, well, that's not right. You can't just not have a play structure. So she bought one and she put one in the side yard over there. The next year, the community said, well, can we move it someplace more convenient? So it was like, oh, okay, you actually want a play structure. So we moved it out here. This is the second one we've replaced it with over the years. Acknowledging that, kids are important and happy kids are even more important. And I love it too. And this is brand new. I didn't see this until yesterday.
What's in that place? That
Sandbox.
I'm sorry. Oh, that's
It's
a sandbox. Oh,
yeah.
nice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was a combination sandbox litter box until we figured out to put a top on it. We've had a lot of outdoor cats in the past. We've gone through many iterations of how are we going to deal with them. But if we don't have as many, it's easier on nature. We're heading over towards the Common House. It's a building for all of us. It's our living room. We've got guest rooms. We all downsized when we moved in here. My ex and I came from a 2,400 square foot, full basement to 1,400 square foot and then 900 square foot. So we've got 2 guest rooms in there because not everybody has a guest room anymore. They get pretty good use. We got a rec room, a dining room, living room, everything you would find in a house. There's a beautiful area in there where for years we had a yoga instructor here. And so every Saturday morning we had yoga for it's probably 10 or 12 years. So it gets multiple uses.
There's a large kitchen, and so my husband enjoys doing a meal for the community once a month, and he plans it and everybody comes, and other people get to clean up. He gets to cook and other people clean up. It's great. And then we all get to eat his food. There's also a weekly potluck on Tuesday nights. And then there's occasional other events that we do. We also, once a month when we have our work party, we'll have a meal right afterwards. So that's on a Saturday usually.
Is that usually something that people in the community can just decide out of nowhere, hey, I'm going to throw a dinner tonight, kind of a thing?
Yes. Yeah, they just put their name on the calendar and let everybody know. Yep.
Yeah. Before COVID, we did have shared meals twice a week, Wednesdays and Sundays, where we would have a sign-up list that extended out for 3 months for people who would sign up to cook, assisted cook and clean. When COVID happened, aside from the limitations that it put on people, the woman who was running it at the time had a mild heart attack. She's fine now. She stepped back from it, and we've never gone back and reorganized it. Her husband Jim's meals have been hopefully a good push for getting more people interested in it. There was 30 of us Sunday at the last meal that he cooked. And yeah, and personally, I prefer the cleanup part. So the fact that he does all the cooking and I have to clean it, it's not having to clean up. It's I get to clean up for this meal.
There's also laundry in there. There's like 2 washers and 2 dryers. So if people don't want to have a washer and dryer in their house, they can come and do it here. So it saves space, gives them extra storage in their own units.
And there's about 8 or 9 of us that don't have washing machines that use this exclusively. There's we have 2 washers, 2 dryers. One of the washers is a kind of a heavy duty thing. So there's people that have their own washing machines that use this for blankets and heavy stuff. Yeah, for me, it's, hey, I go to the common house to do my laundry, I get to see my friends. Aside from the community garden we have, I guess if you turn around behind you more, you can see more and more of us are putting on our own raised beds to grow our own food. It's been, over the last 2 years, there's always been some of these, but in the last 2 years, there's been a big push of people going, hey, we got the sunlight, we got the water, let's do it.
Well, I see a lot of the rainwater collection on a couple of these homes.
Yeah, I think there's still 5 of them that we have it on. Oh, well, Mark, nice to see you here. Here we go into the living room. I think it feels homey. And over here we've got a kids' rec room right off the dining room. The concept was that adults could eat, kids could play. And the kids could play, and generally the adults would be able to eat in peace. It generally works pretty good. Often it meant I had to go into the kids' room. Here, we got giveaway tables. Anybody got stuff that they want to share, put it here. And then there's a timeline for when you need to get rid of it. In the back, you can see half of our project here. It's got a total of 3 acres, 1.5 acres that we built on and 1.5 acres of wetlands. When we moved in, we agreed to plant 300 trees. This was, you could see all the way to McDonald's. Yeah, this is all in the last 25 years. This is just a mud pit out here. But we planted 300 trees. We took care of them. We watered them, and we've got ourselves a nice forest that we can live next to. And again, like I said, we've used this for our common meals. We had 64 people sitting here for one of the Thanksgivings, but we had to move it out a little bit. But we fit 64 people in here for Thanksgiving. We've had 20 people cooking in the kitchen.
Well, this is where all the food gets cooked. Yeah, we have a monthly meal right now, and we have a work party meal once a month, and then there's a potluck every Tuesday, so they utilize the kitchen. Lots of storage, 2 ovens, large burners, pantry, and fridge and freezer.
And all of this is community use. So
it is.
So at any given time, could someone just come in here and decide I'm going to cook my meal in the community house for tonight or something and clean up after themselves? Or
they could, yeah.
Or does that happen at all?
Well, we have one member that comes and makes his coffee here every day, maybe twice a day. So, there is that. And then when guests are here, the guests can use the kitchen. And yes, everybody just needs to clean up after themselves.
Recycling center in here for glass bottles and plastic bags and cans for recycling, returning. We've had 2 hot tubs out here. The second one died 3 years ago. We haven't decided to replace it or not. We've used it as a storage area. We've since bought a storage rack for boats, which we'll show you later on. So after the next work party, these 2 will be out of here. And that's part of the exploration that Nashira was working on is, what do we want to do with this? Well, let's decide for real before we put one thing in here and regret it. So, rec room here. Initially a kids room. Then we grew out of having kids. For a while, it was a teenager room. Then the teenagers moved out. Then it became an adult room. Kids have tried to take it back at one point, but we've just had 2 teenagers move in. So, we might have to deal with letting it be a kid's room again.
Okay, we have 2 guest rooms up here. This is one of them. It has a double bed. The other one has a queen bed. And then right here is a shared bathroom. And back here is where the yoga used to happen. And now kids like to come and play in here. And anyone's welcome to come and do their yoga here. It's a pretty quiet spot.
It's a nice place to be loud. We've had sword fighting contests in here, just about everything. And for years, the Limited Liability Corporation that formed this, the 12 families, their history was up there for about 15 years, 20 years, somewhere in there. We finally decided we didn't really need that anymore. So,
all right, well, let's head down the hall the other way. Okay, on this side is the other guest room with a queen bed. And we have a small office area on this side and with a copier that we can all use. And then right behind me is a library. And this space has been used for people working from home and for small meetings, just to come and read a book, and small gatherings. This is actually one of the rooms that can be warm when we're out of power because it does have this gas fireplace, same as downstairs. So it could be a warming area. The AC unit services downstairs, and so our common house can also be a cooling area.
We were built with hydronic heating, which was, the folks that built it were very interested in conservation, being alert to what the environmentally friendly, thank you. And so hydronic heating was the best affordable thing on the market at the time. So all the houses were heated off of our hot water heater. There's pipes running through the walls that just circulate the heat to keep the house warm. Great idea, works pretty darn good, but water leaks. So in 25 years, we've had at least 3, maybe 4 of the systems develop a leak that caused significant damage. So I think that part has been what's been pushing people to the mini splits rather than using the hydronic system. And for me, myself, I view the climate change, the temperatures are going up around here. When I moved in 25 years ago, we never got over 95, and so I bought it because I figured I might need it in the summer also. Out here we have a porch.
And tell me about the flag.
It is a Cascadia flag.
Okay.
Yes.
So that is the official flag of Cascadia
Right.
Commons.
And other people have used it as a Cascadian flag also. We're not the first. We're just appropriating that. But yeah, you can get the best overall view of the wetlands from here. I have a bench out there. One of our members died about 15 years ago, and she was beloved enough that we ended up putting a bench out there with her name on it. We had a significant number of invasive hawthorns trees in the wetlands. The Clean Water Systems was offering a rebate for people who were taking them out. So one of our members signed up, got the rebate. Clean Water Systems paid $7,500 for us to take out 37 invasive hawthorns. And now we're in the process of replanting them. It'll be a few years, but we were doing our part for nature, and so we've got a little more wide open wetlands for right now.
And what are you replanting in their places?
That's the Buildings and Grounds, or the Grounds Committee.
Okay, that's not part of your committee.
That's not my job. But we have a Grounds Committee that has made all the decisions. They've studied what's invasive, what's not invasive. We do a lot of work with invasive species around here, and so they pick some trees that are native and hopefully will not suffer from the ash borer if it hits us. And here, if you turn around a little bit, you can see more of the north side of Cascadia. just in a one straight view.
And then
Okay.
south side is where we're heading next,
Yes.
right?
We're going over to the bridge for the south side. And one thing we'll bump into is people with cameras.
And that is because
There is a bird, a rare bird. 3 days ago now, I think somebody found it on our property here, and one of our birders announced it to the community. And so we've opened it up for birders from all over the area who want to come find this elusive bird.
What kind of a bird is it?
Red-naped sapsucker.
Oh, okay, okay.
Got a
Yeah.
red, like a woodpecker red.
Good luck. Okay.
Look at me.
We're heading towards the south side of the community. This is the totally newly built in 2001. So, and there's 12 of the 26 houses over here. We built the bridge when we moved in. For our capital reserve, I've tried to figure out how long it can last. It's Trex. And when I contacted the Trex people to go, well, how long, does it last 25, 35, 40 years? They go, it's only been around 25 years. We have no idea how long it's going to last. So.
And this is the same material that you have with the garden.
Right, the porch on the deck on the porch, yeah. And all of our outdoor stairs. So here we have a lawnmower with its typical distress signal. It's Pat was cutting the lawn over there. We'll see if this failed before or after she finished when we get over there.
So is this a storage area for the commons or?
Yes.
Okay.
We have tools which people have donated. They're all community tools. Anything in here, I think everything in here is community. Everything that's been donated. There's a spot where somebody had their own saw, but they've moved on. So everything in here is community stuff. We have a minor bit of storage in the back. We're not. I'd say that is probably our most significant lack here is storage space. The units on the north side have some LCE, limited common elements, around them that they were able to build outdoor storage units. The south side here backs up to the wetlands, and so there is no limited common elements over here. It's all wetlands, and so the people on the south side have a lot less space than the people on the north side. Space is always an issue. The next step in community development is we got a boat rack. We got a work party coming up Saturday. We're going to get gravel, put it under there because, once we put boats on this thing is going to sink pretty deep. We'll put gravel under that, and then we can, after Saturday, we can put all the boats on it. So that'll clean up multiple different areas of the community. And a side story about wetlands. The first year we were here, we were doing some wetland cleanup, and I found a tire back there. So I pulled the tire up, threw it aside. Another tire came up, threw it aside. 4 tires came up.
Was there a car?
No, there's no car. Somebody had dumped tires there.
Wow.
4 tires came up. So we took them off. We got rid of them. The next year, another tire. The second year, we got 3 tires out of it, and then they stopped coming up. It's very wet. It's wetland. But it's ours. And so we're not about to put any boats on that until it's secure. One of our 2 parking lots, and here you see persimmon, right? Persimmon tree, and over there, another against the tree with all the leaves is another espaliered pear tree. The roof is put up.
here's our electric charging right here. So we have 2 stations right now, and we're looking into getting some more for the north side.
And how many residents have electric cars right now?
There's 10 electric cars on the property right now.
Ladders were just something that got in the way for years. And about 3 years ago, we figured out a way to put it over here. Inside this area, we have all our recycling. We use standard on-street recycling for the normal thing that you can recycle through the city, but here you've got styrofoam and plastic bags and anything that you can recycle, somewhere in Oregon. Most of the community tools are in here. So again, 26 households. Yeah, we probably have 4 rakes, 5 shovels, because you don't need those things. Lawnmowers, we got 1 lawnmower for 26 families. Composting, there's another bin back there, with lots of leaves. This is our other recycling. Folks who work on the community do a nice job of taking care of the community. If somebody is making the place beautiful, I don't have to want them to worry about cleaning up. So, we've established something over the years that, okay, you do some trimming trees or whatever, just throw it here, somebody else will deal with it. And so, I'll chop it up, put it in the green bins that we have over here. Got another bin for material that we'll recycle or that we'll compost eventually. And so every 2 years or so, we'll dig through this. Over here, we put any dirt that comes out of there goes in here so that people can use it. Any dirt that comes out of the actual compost bins, we'll put in here for people to use. So this is pretty much seed-free. We believe in emergency prep. We know there's going to be some kind of disaster at some point. Food, water, all sorts of things you would need in case of an emergency here. The other concept, aside from being with people who share your common beliefs, is the fact that we don't have to use as much stuff on this earth. All new construction, 2001 over here, 12 units, 1s, 2s, and 3 bedrooms. I think we have 3 1-bedrooms, 5 3-bedrooms, and the rest of them are 2s. You can see here that the lawnmower died after Pat finished. So we got our project done. People's LCEs over here. On the south side here, we have 12 units. On the north side, we have 14 units. Here is our only community garden on this side, because more of the people have had LCEs that they could work on. We didn't have as much space over here. The grass is for all of us. That's a general common element. This area, and right next to your property, in most cases, is an LCE, a limited common element. So those are 2 terms that we deal with every day, trying to decide, okay, if something goes wrong, is that LCE or is that GCE? Do we pay for it? Do you pay for it? So it's something that we're just in the process of finishing our bylaws. We've been here 25 years. There's been enough change in the Oregon revised statutes and mistakes we found in our original bylaws that we're in the process of amending them. So LCEs, GCEs, we're going through the definition phase again for everything right now. You can see the side of one of the units. It's got 2 recumbent bikes on there. One of the things that a lot of us like to do as a community is bike rides. So that's another thing that we're discussing. In our unused space, misused space exploration is, what do we do about getting room for more bikes? Because we've got 3 of the units that just sold, and we're going, well, if they got bikes, we don't know if we have room for them. And the other thing that I see in co-housing is we're not a community where we got 26 people who all want to do the same thing. We're more small groups of 7 or 8 families that go biking a lot. Several people that like to kayak together. Some people that like to hike together. So it's brought us together so we can find the people that like-minded that do common things. And so it's not a big one idea group of 26 families. We're all here with our own ideas, and in a community where people want community, we're more likely to find people who have shared common beliefs.